The Button That Turned Off the World. Hello, sleepy explorer. Tonight's story is about a tiny button, one that didn't beep, flash, or buzz, just quietly turned off the world, one piece at a time. There once was a little boy named Theo, who had a special box on his nightstand. It wasn't fancy, just a small wooden box with one round button in the center. The button didn't make noise, it didn't light up, it didn't even click. But every night, when Theo pressed it, the world would begin to slow down, piece by peaceful piece. One evening, just after brushing his teeth and crawling under the covers, Theo placed his finger gently on the button and whispered, "Goodnight, world." He pressed it, and the magic began. First, the lights dimmed, turning golden, then soft, then off. Then the toys stopped moving, frozen mid-play, like they were saying, "See you tomorrow." Outside, the wind grew quieter. The leaves stopped rustling. Even the birds fluffed their feathers and tucked their beaks beneath their wings. The button's magic didn't turn things off like a switch. It hushed them, soothed them, wrapped them in stillness. Theo imagined the button sending waves of quiet across the globe. The oceans sighed and grew calm. The clouds paused mid-drift. The stars sparkled a little more slowly. Even the moon blinked once, then glowed gently, ready for night. Theo took a deep breath. He felt the stillness in his toes, his knees, his chest. Everything was slowing, like soft music fading into silence. He whispered to the button one last time, "Thank you." And as his eyes closed, the world outside faded into peaceful slumber. Some people used bedtime routines. Theo just needed one gentle press, and the world knew it was time to sleep. Now, little one, imagine your own button, quiet and kind. When you press it tonight, let everything around you grow still. Shh, shh, the world is ready. Good night. When the stars tied their shoelaces. Hello, tiny stargazer. Tonight's story is about the stars. Yes, real stars, and the quiet little thing they do before they start to shine. Far, far above the clouds, even higher than the tallest mountains, live the stars. They don't just appear at night with a pop. They get ready, just like you. Before shining bright across the sky, the stars have a quiet little routine. They stretch, they whisper to one another, and they tie their shoelaces. Yes, really. Stars wear soft silver slippers with tiny laces that glow just a little. Not everyone knows this, Only the dreamers do. One night, as the sky was turning from orange to deep blue, a little girl named Nia lay in bed, staring out her window. She loved watching the first stars appear, but tonight they were late. Nia whispered, "Where are you?" Then, just above the clouds, she saw them, hundreds of twinkling stars, sitting on a soft sky bench, tying their shoelaces very carefully. Some tied slowly, double knots. Some needed help from other stars. A few stars giggled, dropping their laces and starting over. Nia giggled too. She imagined one star named Pip, who always tied his shoes backwards, and another star named Lulu, who hummed quietly while she tied hers. Once their shoelaces were snug and neat, the stars began to float gently into the sky, one by one, glowing just a little brighter with every step. Pip tripped once and did a little twirl before he found his place. Lulu twinkled a bit too brightly and had to calm down. They were silly, they were quiet, and they were beautiful. Soon, the sky was full of stars, each perfectly tied and softly glowing. From her bed, Nia yawned, smiled, and whispered, "Good job, stars. Thank you." As her eyes grew heavier, she imagined them waving down at her, their laces sparkling gently like ribbons in the breeze. And when she finally drifted off to sleep, her dreams were filled with tiny stars dancing in silver slippers, tiptoeing across the sky. Tonight, close your eyes and picture your own stars, tying their slippers, getting ready just for you. Sleep well, little dreamer. Nina and the Pillow That Purred. Hello, sleepy friend. Tonight, meet Nina, a little girl who had a very special pillow. It wasn't just soft, it purred quietly each night right before sleep. Nina loved bedtime, especially because of her pillow. Her pillow was small, round, and soft, with tiny stars stitched onto it. But what made it truly special was something no one else knew about. When the lights dimmed and the house grew quiet, Nina's pillow would start to purr. It wasn't a loud purr like a cat. It was soft, gentle, and comforting, like the quiet hum of a lullaby. It made Nina feel safe, cozy, and loved. Every night after Nina brushed her teeth and slipped into her pajamas, she climbed into bed, hugged her pillow tight, and whispered softly, "Good night, pillow. Can you please purr for me?" And each night, just as Nina closed her eyes, the pillow would begin. A quiet, gentle purr that seemed to wrap around Nina like a warm hug. It felt like soft music, vibrating gently through her dreams. One night, Nina couldn't fall asleep. Her thoughts were busy, buzzing around her mind like tiny bees. She turned left and right, sighed deeply, and hugged her pillow tighter. "Please, pillow," she whispered, can you help me sleep tonight?" The pillow purred a little louder, not noisy, just enough to drown out Nina's busy thoughts. Nina closed her eyes and imagined she was floating gently, like a feather drifting slowly down through the air. She imagined soft clouds below her, gently catching her and rocking her back and forth. Each cloud was warm and soft, filled with gentle whispers of good night. And the pillow purred gently all the time, calming her heart, quieting her thoughts. Nina's breathing slowed. Her eyelids grew heavier and heavier. The busy thoughts drifted away, far into the night sky, where they faded into starlight. Slowly, softly, Nina fell asleep, wrapped in the gentle purr of her pillow. And in the morning, when the sun peeked through the curtains, Nina hugged her pillow tightly once again and whispered, "Thank you for staying with me." Now, it's your turn. Let your own pillow hold you gently. Close your eyes and feel safe. Good night, little one. The Cloud That Followed Me Home. Hello, little dreamer. Tonight's story is about a small, fluffy cloud that decided to follow someone very special all the way home. One day, as the sun was slowly setting, a little girl named Lily was walking home. The sky above was soft and pink, and tiny clouds drifted gently through the evening air. Lily noticed one cloud that looked different. It wasn't big and it wasn't small. It was just fluffy enough to look like cotton candy, floating gently above her head. As Lily walked, the cloud followed. She stopped. It stopped. She moved. It moved, always floating gently behind her. "Are you following me?" Lily asked softly, smiling upward. The cloud didn't answer, of course, but it seemed to float closer, as if it were smiling back. When Lily reached her house, the cloud stopped just above her window. Inside, Lily got ready for bed, brushing her teeth, putting on her favorite pajamas, and snuggling under her soft blanket. She looked out the window, and there was the cloud, floating patiently, waiting quietly. "Good night, cloud," Lily whispered, waving gently. Then something wonderful happened. As Lily closed her eyes, the cloud softly began to drift closer, gently filling her room with a quiet, calming feeling. It felt like the softest mist, cool and refreshing, touching her cheeks softly. Lily breathed slowly, deeply, feeling completely safe and calm. Her room felt different now, quiet and magical. She imagined she was lying on the cloud itself, soft, warm, and gently floating above the rooftops. The stars twinkled quietly around her, the moon smiling softly in the sky. The little cloud held her gently, swaying slowly back and forth like a soft cradle in the sky. With every gentle movement, Lily's eyes felt heavier, calmer, her heartbeat slowed down, matching the gentle floating of the cloud. Finally, Lily drifted off into peaceful dreams, wrapped gently in the softness of her new fluffy friend. Outside her window, the cloud stayed nearby, softly glowing under the starlight, waiting until morning. And from that night onward, every evening as Lily walked home, she always looked up, And sure enough, her gentle cloud friend was there, floating softly, following her home again. Now close your eyes, little one. Imagine your own soft cloud gently holding you. Good night, sleep tight. Leo and the Blanket with Stars. Hello again, little one. Tonight's story is about Leo, a boy with a very special blanket. It wasn't just soft and cozy, it was covered with tiny stars that could glow gently in the dark. Leo had many toys, but he loved his blanket most of all. It was soft, warm, and a deep, calming blue. The kind of blue that fills the sky when it's just about to get dark. But the most special part of Leo's blanket was the tiny stars scattered across it, which glowed quietly when everything was still. Every night after Leo brushed his teeth and climbed into bed, he pulled the blanket up close. The stars on it never glowed right away. They waited patiently like tiny friends until Leo was completely calm. Leo knew exactly what he had to do to make them glow. First, he had to close his eyes gently. Next, he had to breathe softly, in and out, in and out, until his body felt relaxed and calm. Then, very quietly, Leo would whisper, "Stars, I'm ready." And slowly, one by one, the stars on his blanket would start glowing softly. Not bright or flashy, just a gentle, peaceful glow, like little night lights in the dark. Leo loved this moment. He imagined each star was a tiny, quiet guardian, watching over his dreams. One night, Leo had a hard time falling asleep. He had too many thoughts buzzing around in his mind like little bees. He tossed and turned, sighing softly. He worried the stars might not glow tonight. But then, Leo remembered what his mom always said, "Quiet your thoughts and the stars will help you sleep." So Leo tried again. He closed his eyes. He listened to his gentle breathing. He imagined each breath was like a gentle wave coming in and out. Slowly, Leo's thoughts began to calm down. His heart slowed. His eyelids felt heavy and warm. Then he whispered softly once more, "Stars, I'm ready now." And just like always, the stars gently appeared, glowing softly, covering Leo in their gentle light. Leo smiled softly as the stars gently guided him into a peaceful, happy dream. He dreamed about floating among real stars, drifting quietly, feeling safe, feeling loved. When morning came, the blanket stars faded gently into the daylight, knowing they'd be back again that night, ready to help Leo sleep again. Close your eyes now, little dreamer. Let your own stars shine gently and carry you softly into sleep. Good night. The Little Door Behind the Moon. Hello, sleepy one. Tonight, let's take a journey to find a tiny door, hidden gently behind the moon. Far up in the sky, behind the big soft moon, there was a little door. It was small and round, painted softly in silver and gold, with a tiny golden doorknob shaped like a star. Most people didn't know this door existed, but one night, a curious child named Mia saw it for the first time. Mia often stared out of her window before bedtime, counting stars or watching clouds drift by. But tonight, the moon looked different, softer, brighter, as if hiding something special behind it. "Moon," whispered Mia softly, "what's behind you?" To Mia's surprise, the moon answered, not with words, but by slowly turning just a little, showing Mia the tiny shimmering door. "May I go inside?" Mia asked gently. Slowly, very gently, a soft path made of moonlight stretched down from the sky toward Mia's window. Mia stepped onto it. It felt safe, soft, like walking on warm sand or fluffy clouds. Carefully, Mia walked upward, step by quiet step, until she reached the moon. Standing in front of the little door, she touched the tiny golden knob. It was warm, as though the stars themselves had been holding it tight. She opened the door slowly, and inside was the most peaceful, quiet room Mia had ever seen. Everything inside was gentle. Soft clouds for chairs, stars gently floating around like sleepy fireflies, and walls that glowed quietly, soothing Mia's heart. In the center of the room was a bed, softer than anything Mia had felt before. It was as if the bed itself whispered, "Rest now, little one." Mia climbed in and pulled a soft blanket, woven from moonlight, over herself. As soon as she closed her eyes, she felt the room softly rocking, gently like a boat on a calm, quiet lake. She didn't need to wonder where she was going. She knew the moon would hold her dreams safely through the night. In this quiet, secret room behind the moon, Mia dreamed sweet dreams, floating gently, sleeping deeply, completely safe and calm. And when she awoke, she was back in her bed at home, the moonlight softly shining through her window. Every night after that, when Mia saw the moon glowing in the sky, she smiled gently, knowing the little door would always be there, waiting softly whenever she needed to rest again. Now close your eyes, little dreamer. Maybe you'll find your own door behind the moon tonight, waiting softly for you. Good night. Sleep tight. Milo and the Sleepy Shoes. Hello again, little one. Tonight, let's meet Milo, a boy with shoes that had their own gentle secret. They could fall asleep, just like you. Milo had a special pair of shoes. They were soft, cozy, and a little bit magical. During the day, Milo's shoes ran, jumped, and played, always keeping up with him wherever he went. But when evening came and the sky began turning soft shades of blue and purple, Milo's shoes got very sleepy. One night, after a long day full of adventures, Milo sat on his bed and took off his shoes. But instead of just putting them aside, he whispered softly, "Shoes, are you ready for sleep?" To Milo's surprise, the shoes yawned quietly, stretching their tiny shoelaces gently like arms. Milo smiled softly. It was their little secret. "Let's get you tucked in," Milo said gently. He placed his shoes carefully beside his bed, making sure they were cozy. He imagined each shoe as a tiny friend, slowly closing its eyes, ready to drift off to sleep. Milo whispered softly again, "Good night, sleepy shoes." The shoes didn't answer with words, but Milo knew they understood. He watched as their shoelaces curled up, their breathing slow and gentle, their tiny soles completely still. Milo lay back in bed. He imagined where his sleepy shoes went when they dreamed. Perhaps they walked slowly across quiet meadows, or floated gently on soft clouds. Maybe they danced silently with fireflies under a sleepy moon. These thoughts made Milo's eyes grow heavier. His breathing slowed, matching the gentle rhythm of his sleepy shoes. Just as Milo was about to drift off, he felt a soft, quiet feeling in his heart. A feeling of warmth, comfort, and peace. He knew it came from his sleepy shoes, dreaming softly beside him. Milo closed his eyes and dreamed of walking quietly beside his sleepy shoes, through fields of soft grass, beneath stars that winked gently at them. When morning came, Milo opened his eyes. His shoes were waiting patiently beside his bed, wide awake and ready for new adventures. But Milo knew when night came again, they would gently fall asleep together once more. Now it's your turn, little dreamer. Let your own sleepy shoes rest, and let your dreams take you gently away. Good night.